Welcome everybody, and thank you to the new follows. Is it Nikolai and
Nikolai.
who was the other one?
Driscoll Estate.
Driscoll Estate.
Yes.
Welcome to the stream. Hope that you guys enjoy the conversation. Not sure if you have been following our role play over on Finn's channel. But basically what we do here on Monday nights is have a little chat about the role play session the weekend before. So it was Friday night for us last. And we just talk about the episode. Wow, Serendips. Thank
Rob, so
you.
sweet.
Yay. Look at this cute emote you get. Wait, do you get that one? I don't remember which one you get. You get one of
the
them.
Same ones I have. So it's this and this.
Okay. I thought that the heart one was in there. Thank you so much, Serendips. And look, you got your little ramen bowl. Welcome to the ramen family. I appreciate the sub and the support. I appreciate everybody that has supported us so far. I know our little role play adventure has just started just recently, but it's been a lot of fun for us. We're having lots of fun, and I'm really thankful for everyone that has supported us thus far. So, thank you for continuing that support and subscribing to the channel. You are appreciated. But so we are going to talk about. Oh, well, we appreciate you, Serendips. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna talk about all of the drama, because there was a lot of drama in the last episode.
So much fucking drama.
Yes. Also, this is our YouTube channel. We just got this up and running. The first episode is on there. We're working on getting the rest
Jenna,
of the episodes.
I also added the 4.
I don't know why I can't see them.
You can't?
No. I looked again yesterday because I was like, okay, am I missing something? And I went through all of my folders, and I looked in the folder where it says shared.
I'm gonna open it right now because I made sure to rename all of them, and I put them in the Dropbox exactly like I put them in there.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not sharing with me. Because remember the first time you shared the first one with me, it didn't work either. I don't know why. It's being very temperamental.
Yeah, I've only got I only got the 3 as well.
To share.
Droppy box. Open me droppy box, please.
It should be here. Everyone at Night Prophecies should see it. Maybe I have to add you.
I don't know.
Thing?
Well, while you look at that, I'm going to
I'll look at that.
But our YouTube channel is, we're gonna have all of the episodes of the roleplay and all of the episodes of the podcast that we do here. So because right now we're kind of going back and forth between Finn's channel and my channel. And this is an easy way for us to put everything in the same place. Another thing that we're planning on doing for the YouTube channel is doing small like one-shot episodes where it will be a story separated from our main campaign story. A couple of ideas that we have for that is to highlight different important characters in our main campaign, like some of the Camarilla leaders, like Prince Catalina, Lindsay, she's the sheriff, Imani, different characters like that are important to the main story, and taking them and doing a one-shot episode on them in their life. And it will give a little bit of history of, them as a character and even the city as a whole. So doing little projects like that is something that I'm also looking forward to. And those will be specifically for the YouTube channel. So we'll just record those, not while we're live streaming or anything, and we'll upload those to the YouTube channel. So Took is here for his debut.
Hi, Tookies.
So that's something that you guys can look forward to seeing. Come on, buddy. Lay down.
Mountain goat cat.
He is like a little mountain goat.
Okay,
I don't know how this is comfortable.
You by hand because you should be like part of the group for Night Prophecies, so you should be able to access this. I don't know why you can't see it, but I shared each file individually, so you should be able to see each file individually, which is super stupid, but whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it worked because I got an email notification last time, unless it's just slow to send me the email. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Did you spell everything right?
Yeah, I used the exact same that I used when I sent it to you.
Okay, I don't know why it's not fucking working. I'll figure it out. Cat. Yeah, this is my Tookie baby, who very rudely woke me up this morning really early. He does this thing if my alarm starts going off and I snooze it too many times, he bites me.
He's the ultimate alarm.
He is like, Mom, wake the fuck up. I'm tired of listening to your alarm go off. So yeah, he's started to do that recently. But he woke me up before my alarm even went off today. I was quite annoyed. But that's okay, because I got some cute snuggles. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I won't touch you. He's like, stop talking about me nicely. I'm ferocious. All right. Alpha Predator of Chair Mountain. Yeah, this is his favorite spot with his big old belly. I don't know how he likes laying there, but he does. In a few minutes, he'll get real comfy and slump his head down and start falling asleep. Weird. I don't know how having this chair in your belly like that feels nice. Look at his little toes. He's like holding on for dear life. Oh, he's silly. Anyway, I'm definitely gonna at some point get the lady who did all of my emotes. I'm gonna get her to make this.
Yes.
Where he's sitting on the back of my chair. Cute. Yeah, I'm gonna get that made eventually. All right, well, let's dive into episode 6. Oh, there's a lot to talk about. So we'll start off in our classic way, and let's just start with our favorite moment. And I always forget who goes first, but Steve, you've been voluntold. I think it was Mimsy first last time.
I would have to say my favorite moment. That's going to be a tough one for this week. I would say when I found out Lev was related to Sparta, I was like, "Aw, it was cute. I like that." And then
I thought you'd like that.
The whole family kind of just filed into the jail cell, I was like, "Oh hell yeah!"
Jess, hi.
Hey, Jess.
Welcome. Yeah, I originally. Trumpet Guy, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I originally wasn't planning, like when I made Leo wasn't going to be Lev's sire. Like that didn't even cross my mind. He had a completely different sire, but I was like, I knew I wanted to do something unique with his story. It just like hadn't fully developed in my mind yet of like how he was created, where did he come from, how could I make this like unique and exciting for the group. And then because obviously I knew he was a gangrel the entire time. And then whenever everything happened with the jail, I was like, ooh, okay. And like ideas started to form, and then I was like, I'm going to surprise Sparta with Leo in jail which is probably going to be a surprise to him anyway. And especially to the other group, because the other group didn't even know Leo existed. They thought that Sparta and Lev were the only gangrels. And then there comes Leo with his childer, Elizabeth. And so I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I was like, I'm going to make this even more interesting. And I'm going to make Lev Leo's childer. And then I like created a whole story and basically like finished Lev's story because his story was like halfway developed and I didn't know what to do with the rest of it. I was like, this will come with time. Like I'll figure out how to do this later. And because I knew that he was going to be a young vampire. And he had like died tragically somehow and left behind his pregnant girlfriend who was the girl in the picture. She was pregnant at the time that he died and was embraced. So he didn't even get to meet his baby. That's why like Lindsay, the whole story with Lindsay getting pictures of his kid and stuff like that. That's like something she did for him because he was kind of ripped away from his life suddenly. I had known all of that, but I didn't know like the rest of the story. So it
How
all
to tie it all together.
Exactly. It all kind of like happened when I threw you guys in the jail. And then I was like, ooh, I could do things with this. This will work. So that's kind of how a lot of my backstories for these characters have happened. Like I started with like a little nugget of information and be like, this is kind of what I want to happen. And they've slowly kind of developed as the campaign has developed, which has been fun for me because I was like, I can come up with all of this information, but tying it into you guys and tying it into the story is more fun than just having like everything already planned out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now Sparta has a cousin.
Yeah, Sparta has a whole little family. And now I'm sure like his relationship with Lev, which you can already see in like how he interacted with Lev, like you can already see that his relationship with Lev is a lot different just knowing that information. So it'll be interesting to see how those two kind of continue to develop along the way. But yeah, so your favorite moment was Lev.
Absolutely. As soon as I found that out, I was like, oh, I can work with this.
Yeah, I figured that would be a fun little twist. What about you, Mimsy? What was your favorite moment of the drama-packed episode?
It's so difficult to find something, at least for Alejandro, because it was like such a...
Everybody was against Alejandro the entire episode.
Yeah,
it's fine. You can say it.
Difficult.
Poor Alejandro.
Oops.
I feel bad for him out of character. I don't feel bad for him in character.
I felt
like,
so bad.
I really feel bad, but like, yep.
You don't have to
Like,
have a favorite moment. I mean, not every episode is going to have a favorite moment, you know?
I don't think I had like a heavily favorite. I guess being the first to activate the Bane from the group could probably
That was exciting.
be a favorite moment.
That was a shocking, exciting moment for sure.
Yeah, the Banes are like one of my weaknesses, and I'm really trying to like drill it into my mind to like know all of your Banes and know when to like incorporate them as a storyteller. Because when I think about it, there are a couple of situations where Sparta's Bane should have come into play, and Alejandro, like when Colette punched you that one time a few episodes ago, it should have incorporated that, but it was just, so I'm really trying, that's one thing that I'm like trying to focus on as storyteller, is to remember that when certain situations happen, there's going to be consequences just because of your Banes. So it's just like a weakness that I noticed in myself, and I wanted to make sure that I started to incorporate.
It's not a weakness. It's just like you just got started with this. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot to remember.
just an area that I need to grow.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're all still learning.
Yeah. So when he punched you, I was like, oh, wait. Like, I was trying to like let everything unfold, and I was like, I have to stop them, because at this point, like, his Bane would have been activated. And that's why I kind of like, because you guys were all like having this like kind of little conversation after Sparta punched you. And I was like, okay, like, stop talking, because he needs to do a willpower roll, because he's probably gonna frenzy. But yeah, it was a intense moment for sure. And to see like Alejandro and Sparta kind of go at it. Kinda. Not really. I guess if you want to call that a fight. I mean, Sparta just kind of grabbed him and threw him on the ground and held him there.
And then broke his leg.
Yeah, so it wasn't a very fair fight, but that's fine.
Bye, Took.
Bye, Bibby. Here's the birds outside. You see his little butt?
Exciting.
Oh, he's like standing
in
in the window looking. I opened the window for them. What about you, Finn? What was your favorite moment of the episode?
My favorite moment was when Lindsay comforted Nyx in her own way. But I genuinely, as a player, like, I had to like, no, we're not breaking character, we're in this, like, but I got like a little surprise, because I was like, are we friends now? Does that mean that she likes her a little bit?
Maybe. Yeah, no. I think I even set it up. Didn't I say Lindsay's going to do something that is going to seem uncharacteristic? I even set it up that way. I was like, okay, this is a little bit out of the character of what you guys have experienced. But you have to remember, you've only known Lindsay for like, what, a week? You know what I mean?
I've personally known her for 5 days. So.
Yeah. Right. I guess the other two would have known her for longer, because they've been in the city longer. But that's the thing about all of the characters that I'm going to create. They all have multiple levels, which we've talked about before. You know what I mean? And that moment for Lindsay was you giving you guys the opportunity to see a side of her that you haven't. Well, Nyx, because no one else was really around. To see a side of her that you haven't experienced before. And she's probably the last person that you would have expected to like have comforting, kind words in that moment to share with you. So, but it also is impactful when that happens. You know what I mean? When you have a character that you don't expect to play that part, and they play that part in those types of moments, it's like, wow, this is pretty like it impacts your character a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I thought about it for a second, and I was like, okay, do I want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, because Lindsay has her reasons of why she would be this way. So
I mean, it kind of makes sense, because like she's helping like Lev that kind of had a similar situation. Like, you just said it. You kind of just revealed that. Like, that he was taken away suddenly from his life, and she's actively helping him to like I obviously, me as a character, Nyx, I don't know this information,
right?
So I wouldn't connect it. But as a player, like, especially now with this bit of information, like, it makes sense,
right?
That she, if not, she wouldn't have done that for Lev, especially him being a gang girl. So
true.
Yeah, exactly. And why Lindsay is that way will be revealed with time. Like, why she seems to care more about kindred who were suddenly removed from their human lives than like kindreds that were taken in other ways, you know. more willingly, so to speak. But people who were tragically removed from their life, then she has like, it's like a soft spot for her. And you can see that with Lev, knowing his story you guys know out of character. Sparta knows in character of like what happened to him, and that he like tragically was in an accident and died, and kind of torn away from this life that he had. But she has like a soft spot for those kind of kindred. So, and why that is will be revealed with time. She's still scary as fuck, though.
She is, but like,
Terrifying.
still in my little player heart, I'm like, oh my god, this is what. I was excited as Fenice. I was like, oh my god, I'm breaking all the fucking old ass characters that are super scary.
They love me. They love me. Oh my god,
they fucking love me, bitches.
Look at me go. To be honest with you though, like out of the group, Nyx is the easiest one to like. Like, she doesn't cause problems. She is more willing to do anything that she's asked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that Sparta has like put up any fight and like doing things that he's asked, but his personality is a lot different than Nyx. You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
His personality, you mean push the buttons
before
thinking about it? Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, it makes sense that like the people around her, she's easy to like. You know what I mean? So, she doesn't cause a lot of issues. Like, although Sparta is like obedient, he's caused quite a few issues. Like, so
Yep.
So Lindsay might not be as quick to like him as much as she likes Nyx, because Nyx doesn't cause any problems. Despite the fact that Nyx probably thinks all of this is because of her. Like,
oh, yeah, no, that's her. That's exactly. But then that's like where Lindsay was like, no, like,
exactly. This isn't your fault.
You
didn't ask for
fucking
this.
do this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that probably put to rest some of the thoughts that Nyx was having of like, gosh, these people must hate me because like this is all my fault, you know, because how could you not feel like that in this situation? Like, the only reason why this started and the only reason why this Isaiah guy is a problem is because he embraced Nyx and then shit went south. Yeah. So of course, like, how could you not feel like it's your fault in some capacity? Mm-hmm. You know? So yeah, I feel like that was a pretty important moment for Nyx, and Lindsay kind of validating her and being like, that's not how we see it. Like, yeah, we understand our law and we understand what the traditions are when it comes to a situation like this, but that's already been put to rest. The night that Catalina said, okay, you get to live. That was put to rest. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure it really helped Nyx in that moment. And honestly, I think that was probably my favorite moment of the stream for me as well, is like, I guess collectively what was revealed about Lindsay throughout that entire, because there was like two really intense moments of Lindsay showing her authority. And then there was like the moment of her showing like, hey, yeah, I'm an authority figure and I'm going to enforce that when that needs to be enforced. But I'm also somebody that cares. You know what I mean? I'm not this just like, for lack of a better word, heartless. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she has more layers to her. And I think collectively, like, all of the moments that I had for Lindsay, even like her like coming into the cell and like working, like, that's what she does. Like, that's her job. Like, she's the executioner. And of course she's gonna have a side to her that's really evil and cold and But how could you do that job and not have that? You know what I mean? Like, you have to have that in some capacity to be able to be the sheriff and do the duties of the sheriff. So of course she has that, and you guys kind of got to see that side of her, especially Sparta in character.
Yep.
And that probably sealed the deal of him never defying her. But and then also in the house with Alejandro, and showing how easy and how quickly it can be for her to be like, all right, you don't want to fucking listen to me? Well, I'll make you listen to me. Get on your fucking knees. You know, and like showing more of her actual ability. Because the thing, which obviously out of character for you guys, because you guys weren't in the jail when she was doing her like work there, but that shows like the contrast of between her, because she could have very easily done exactly what she did with Alejandro at the jail with that thin blood. Been like, get on your knees, you're answering my fucking questions whether you want to or not. But she chose not to. And I think that shows an interesting thing with her, is like, she knows she has these abilities. She knows that she can get the information she wants, and she can get it quickly without getting any blood on her hands. But that's not how she always does her job. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's really interesting. The fact that she decided in that moment in the cells, she didn't even activate Daunt. Like, she didn't activate any abilities. She was just like straight, okay, well, we're gonna fucking torture you. Like,
she went to town.
We're gonna do this she gave him the choice. We can do this the easy way, we can do this the painful way. What do you want to do here? So she's like, okay, well, you asked for it. Could have just answered my questions, because I'm sure he probably knew the same thing of she could get information out of him if she wanted. But she decided to make him suffer instead. She's fucking evil. But I love it. All right. Let's see. Did we get any questions from last stream? Just curious.
Let me see.
I know that the group has a couple of questions.
No, nobody submitted shit.
Okay. Nobody submitted shit.
Nobody submitted shit.
Sparta, didn't you have a question about our characters and shit?
Yeah,
we were talking about it the other night.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so my question was, is the way you're playing your character now different from how you envisioned playing them before the campaign started? And if so, how?
It's a really good, you go. Yes. That's a really good question, actually. Nice job. I'll give you guys a second to think, because I actually can't answer this question, considering I have multiple characters I created. Sometimes it gets hard to keep them all on track.
Well, you kind of also just replied to that, to the fact that like your characters are evolving almost naturally, because you know, like, our stories are bringing you ideas and new like inspirations to like add background and stuff, because again, like, being a storyteller is very different. Like, you have to handle so many characters. Like, you have like a template of what you want them to be, but I feel like it's impossible to have a full story for like 10, 15 characters all at the same time, you know?
Sure. Plus you have all the information, so you can tailor it to whatever situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's basically, I think the only character that isn't doing that so much would be Colette. Because like Colette, I feel like in my mind, Colette's a little different, because Colette has turned into the character that I would play if I wasn't the storyteller. That's kind of like how I envision her now. I didn't envision her like, I actually thought Ronaldo was gonna be that. I literally thought Colette was gonna be there for one episode and she was gonna leave. She was just like the babysitter that showed up, but she, through the role play and through like what this group needed, she became like the forefront between Colette and Ronaldo. I thought that originally Ronaldo was going to be more so what the group was going to need. But this group isn't like a group that needs this like nice, you know, nurturing character, because that's like more how Ronaldo is.
I mean, that's what like my character would have loved, but I guess we can't have nice things.
But Colette has been really nice to Nyx.
No, but Colette has been super nice to Nyx, so it doesn't matter. But Nyx is breaking everybody, so it's fine. Like, just let me get to Catalina very fast.
Oh boy,
right.
That'll be interesting.
Colette has kind of become like a mama bear for the team.
Yeah, she
already is.
Yeah,
to be fair.
True. She is like the mom.
Yeah.
She's the oldest. She's the most experienced. Like, and I think it's funny too, because the reason I originally was gonna have her only be there for one episode is because her whole character and demeanor was supposed to be like, I don't want to fucking be here. Like, this is stupid. I'm babysitting. And like, that's how her character started out. And that's basically how she was just gonna be like throughout the first episode. She was there, but she was there as like an aide, and that was it. But she kind of like became the front runner for me. But her character has stayed true to like how I originally planned on playing her. It's just obviously evolved, and her mindset has changed because she's like, okay, I have to like stay with this group. So if I have to work with these people, then I have to figure out how to get along with them. So like her mindset has changed a little, but the way that I play her has remained the same. You know what I mean? And like her whole like story and what I want to develop with her has stayed the same the entire time. Whereas like the other characters in the story are sort of evolving as the the story goes. And because a lot of their stories weren't complete. I like didn't know what to do with them. I just made a beginning story and was like, this is too much to plan. So I'll just fucking figure this out later. But yeah, Colette was a more well-rounded and whole story. But she stayed the same, really. So I think I did a decent job in what I wanted and am kind of succeeding with that. What about you, Finn? How would you, or is Nyx what you thought she would be?
Well, I was kind of like open to seeing however it would go, because I had an idea of who she was as a human.
Right.
So for me, this whole thing has been discovering this character that I thought about as a human, as a vampire. So she's still a human, but she's a vampire for the last 5 nights. So I feel like for me, it's always going to be a work in progress, because like I don't have a kindred that has been alive for even like a week, honestly. Yeah. Like, no, it's been a week now because
8 days.
We skipped 3 days, but
yeah.
Like,
but still, I mean, come on, it's been a week.
She doesn't know anything. Like, she's still fully like herself in a way with like these superpowers, and again, like she said, I can't go out for a 10 now anymore, so for me it is going to be a constant like discovery of like who she is in the kindred society now. So yeah, for me this question is kind of like, I have no idea. Like, I'm just trying to keep in mind like the characteristics and the personality that I saw her having, and like implementing that as she discovers who she is in the kindred world, because she doesn't know. So I don't know.
Yeah, one thing that I'm excited about is to see her to continuing to develop. And one thing that I think I touched on it with these guys. We were in a call the other day, yesterday or whatever day it was. And we were talking some about similar subject, and what is exciting for me to think about is to think about like future campaigns, like for instance, like season 2 of this campaign. Let's say we do a gap in time and it's been a year or it's been 2 years in between when we end this season 1 and we begin season 2. And what is Nyx going to look like in that amount of time? Now that she's been a vampire for this amount of time, she's probably established in the city. She's established with the Toreadors. Like, is that going to happen? What is that going to look like? And what kind of, when she gains more confidence in herself and her abilities as a vampire, how is that going to change her as a character? And that is something that's really exciting for me to see. Because I'm like, right now, she's confused, she's scared, she's emotional, she doesn't understand, like, her abilities, she doesn't understand her potential, she doesn't really know where she fits in, like, she's really insecure about all of that. But let's say fast forward 2 years, that possibly all goes away and she's a completely different character. Yeah. So, something fun and exciting to look forward to. If she lives that long. Oops. Hello, Steam? No, I don't want to update you right Steam. Now. Leave me alone.
Rude.
How dare you interrupt our stream?
How dare you? What the fuck?
But yeah, so I'm excited to see Nyx develop and grow as a character. Yeah. And for like you to discover who she is, you know, as a role player. It'll be fun.
I'm excited, and that's like one of the cool things about making a character like this is that you, especially for new people playing, like you're playing a human that has suddenly become immortal.
Right.
So it's like a cool journey to go through, because like you are also discovering the whole world and getting into the RP and the Vampire the Masquerade world, and you know, like it's a great way to start if you're like a beginner too.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's for sure.
What about you, Steve? You and Sparta.
I will say it's completely different from what I actually intended originally, because I had never role played before. So I had a pretty clear view of how I wanted to play him. He was originally supposed to be a lot more serious and closed off. But as we went through and role played, I realized that wasn't going to be as much fun, and it wouldn't really fit the way we were doing things. So over time, he just became the button pusher, and I just kind of leaned into it and made him a little more open with everybody. I mean, he's not like closed off, but he just doesn't think about stuff like that. But he's a lot less serious than I originally intended him, for sure. He was originally supposed to just be like this quiet big guy that doesn't talk to anybody and just takes everything seriously. And he evolved into a guy who, ooh, shiny, let's touch it. But then he'll also, you know, take time to try to help out emotionally with the other people. He wasn't originally going to be doing that at all.
It's going to be more closed off emotionally.
But as we went, I felt like it didn't fit and wouldn't have been as much fun. So I kind of just adapted with it and just evolved him.
Yeah, and that can be something like we talked about the other night. That can be something that you change over time. You know, like right now, he might be more laid back. He might be more, you know, emotionally open and things like that. It doesn't mean that he has to like become emotionally shut off to the group. But who knows, like just based off of perhaps the experiences he's experiencing. Say that 5 times fast. God, my brain hurt saying it once. But those things might change him. You know what I mean? And they might make him a little bit more standoffish and things like that. And that's the beauty of role playing and character development, is just because you go into a campaign with the idea of how you want your character to be doesn't mean that they have to stay that way the entire campaign. Because just like we as people change, our characters should change. They grow, they adapt, they experience things. Even though they're kindred, doesn't make them immune to having negative effects or positive effects based off of their experiences. You know what I mean? So all of that kind of stuff is stuff to take into account of, how is this affecting my character? How is this changing them? Is it changing them for the good, or is it changing them for the negative? And what is that going to look like? And it doesn't have to be a long lasting effect. It might just be a short effect on them. Who knows? It could be lifelong effects depending on the situation. But that's the beauty of role play and this kind of stuff that we're doing. Just says, especially with how Alejandro is, it's nice to have a male that isn't closed. Yeah, I agree that having a male character that isn't like closed off, and they're able to be emotional and things like that. I'm not even gonna try to say that word. Dynamicism.
Dynamicism.
Dynamicness.
I think it's dynamic. Yeah, I'm not
See,
even gonna try.
in my brain, I said it correctly. When my mouth started to move, I sounded like I was saying gibberish. Is that a word? It's a word now. And yeah.
We just can't say it.
Nope. The dynamicism. Boom. I can't even say caterpillar, so I don't know why I'm trying to say shit.
Caterpillar?
Yeah. Caterpillar.
That was so cute.
I have to say it really slow, but if I say it fast, I say caterpillar. But yeah, I needed speech therapy.
Dynamicism?
We're just making shit up now.
Right?
Sure, that.
That.
Yep, whatever that is. All right, what about you, Mimsy, with Alejandro?
I'm playing him how I wanted to play him. There are certain things that has changed, but he's still kind of like this wild envisioned, because from previous events, previous things that have been unfolding and being told of in the story, is given the reasons why he's so closed off. That when it comes to investigation as well, when he'd rather let Nyx and Sparta do it than himself, because he knows that they need to learn. So he kind of sits back and watches more than anything. I didn't think I would make him so much Jim Carrey the Riddler, though, but I guess that happened.
I kind of loved Colette's comment when after he got his leg broken and he's like sitting on the ground and he starts going on about some bullshit, and she's like, "You're like fucking Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Everything's a riddle." Like, she's like, just fucking answer our questions. Like, he never just answers a question. It's always some like elaborate fucking story that has nothing to do with the question, and Colette's just like, I'm going inside. I'm tired of this bullshit.
She's like, "English, do you speak it?"
No. I think that probably was another favorite moment when Colette's just like, I'm done. I'm fucking done with your bullshit. Answer the fucking question. You're laying on the ground. You just got your ass beat. Your leg's broken, and you still won't answer the question.
No.
She was done. What's in the box? Oh, such an iconic moment. What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box. Dude, I love that movie. I used to be obsessed with that movie. I've watched it so many times. Oh, brilliant.
Same. It is a great movie.
Brilliant movie. But yeah. Good old Alejandro. His nickname's gonna be Gollum now. Like, oh, another fucking riddle.
Rip.
Which is funny because Ronaldo touched on that too a long ass time ago. I think it was the first episode actually. Alejandro asked a question and Ronaldo takes everything really literally and he's like, I don't know that answer. Like, I don't know the answer to that question. And then like without even acknowledging the fact that Ronaldo said that, Alejandro like goes on like this like explanation of what he's saying and Ronaldo made the comment, said, oh, you're doing that rhetorical question thing you do. Like because he does that, he like asks all of these rhetorical questions and it's like I don't know, like what, I don't know the answer to that. So it would always like throw Ronaldo off because Ronaldo's like trying to answer his question literally. It's like, I don't know. I think he said like, do you know how many people have come to the city like during Mardi Gras? And Ronaldo's like, no. Like, do you think I like fucking stood there and like counter as people?
What are you talking about?
Poor Ronaldo's trying to like answer his question literally, and then Alejandro like goes on like there's been thousands of, and he's like, oh okay, that wasn't like a question I was supposed to actually answer. That's a thing that Alejandro does though. It's funny. Oh goodness gracious. Forgot what I was gonna ask. I need to start writing down these questions when they pop into my mind because I start talking and I forget.
That's what I had to do for that last one, or else I definitely would have forgotten it.
Do I want to ask this question?
Why would you not want to ask a question?
Because I want to set it up in a certain way that because I don't want to like give anything away. Okay, well I guess this can be more general. What kind of effects do you guys think the dynamic of the group currently is going to lead to? Or what kind of, not effects. Well, okay, this could be a two-part question. We'll start with this. Everything that happened with Alejandro, how do you think that that's going to affect the actual group and the group dynamic? Now I'll write down the second part of that question on a sticky note once I get a sticky note up.
I was actually thinking about that all weekend, especially after the whole thing with Lindsay saying you get one more chance.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got a broken leg. Lindsay's going to be like, so what happened the other night? So, and I've been worrying about the consequences of that because it was like all the security guards were out there. You know, they reported that shit.
Oh, totally.
Plus, Colette's probably going to talk to Lindsay. So
okay, so that's part. We're going to start with part 2 of my question because you're already answering it. Because part 1 was the question was more so like the group dynamic. How is it going to change? So we'll just switch while you're answering.
For me, no, I can answer that honestly. For me, as Nyx, like Nyx wants to have empathy and like be the one person in the group that is not antagonizing completely Alejandro. Even though it's really hard for me because he's clearly kind of like hard to deal with, say the least. But she tries. She sits down and listens to him and listens to his stories and tries to understand and tries to, you know, figure out what she can maybe do as a mediator. I feel like that's what she's gonna end up being, the mediator in the group.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. She's
Sparta,
the most reasonable, though, if you really think about it. She's the she's the
She
only
really
one
is.
that's gonna stop and like reason, because Colette, while Colette might be that way to a certain extent, I mean, she has a short fuse. So she's not gonna like be as patient.
And Sparta he is trying to help out Alejandro and be supportive, but he definitely does get to a point where he's just had enough. But he, like, especially like when you two go at, like when Alejandro and Nyx go at it, like he'll try to like calm the situation down and talk him through always wanting to leave and stuff like that. But definitely once it gets to a point, he'll become a little more antagonistic. But as far as Nyx and Colette goes, like he's okay with both of them.
Mm-hmm. I think for Colette, she already made the comment. She basically already kind of showed her stance on it when she made the comment to Alejandro that basically, I don't know what she said word for word, but she said like having a partner, you should know that having a partner that doesn't have your 6 is one of the worst partners to have. And she flat out said, I don't trust you. If I'm going to work with you, I need to be able to trust you, and I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And that's how she feels, and that's how she views Alejandro. And from her experience as a police officer, she knows having a partner that you don't trust means you are at risk for getting shot in the back because you can't trust the person behind you. And she's at the point where she's like, I don't care if you leave. If you leave, that's good for me, because every day I have to work with you, you're putting me at risk. Because not only do I have to worry about myself, I have to worry about you and if you have my back. And she doesn't want to work with people like that. And you know what I mean? So she's made a very clear point of, this is where I stand with you. And I think that with Alejandro and his actions that night, I think in regards to Colette specifically, it has affected her, and it most definitely will change the dynamic from her standpoint because she's like, I don't trust you. I don't want you here. Leave. Like, get out. I'd rather work alone or you not be here, and we can replace you, because you're putting me at risk every single day. And that's why she made that comment when she went upstairs and said, I wish you hadn't broke his leg, because maybe he would have actually left. Because she's just like, I don't want to die. I do everything I can every single day to not die and to not put myself in situations where I might die or there might be consequences for myself. You know, she's already went through that rebellious stage in New Orleans. She's already felt her own consequences. She doesn't want to feel the consequences of another idiot that can't get his shit together. She's like, not interested. I already lived through this. I already lived through the defiant Bruja stage. So she's just, I think for her specifically, and I think that it will be interesting to see, considering she, in a way, is sort of like the leader of the group. Not that there is like an actual leader, but she does sort of take that authoritative role.
The mama bear.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Makes sense.
her experience, you know, she's lived in the city longer, she's been doing this longer. It just makes sense for her to kind of take up that position. But I think that it will be interesting to see, since she is more in that like authoritative type of position in this particular group, then how is that going to affect the group as a whole going forward? Now that she's had multiple interactions with Alejandro, and there's been multiple comments made by Alejandro that have made her not really trust him. But this was like the ultimate thing. And she's like, not interested in working with a quitter. Not interested in working with somebody that's going to get mad and walk away. And he's already done that before at the Galeo house.
It wasn't really mad, though. That's the thing. He wasn't really mad when he left the Galeo. It was just not his fucking place. He was, like, uncomfortable.
It wasn't a matter of him being mad. It was a matter of him leaving. And that's what he's threatened to do time and time again. Whether he's mad or whatever the reason is, he leaves. He's not trustworthy. He's not reliable. That's how Colette views him based off of his actions. I can't trust you, and you're not reliable. I can't rely on you to be there when we need you to be there. Because whether it's because you're mad or because you're annoyed or because somebody offended you or whatever the situation is, Alejandro has proven to her time and time again that he's just going to run away. And I wouldn't want to be partners with somebody like that, you know, in these types of situations. Because then you have a situation like what happened at the Galeo's house, and you're down a person that should be there helping you fight, you know? So Colette has definitely made her opinion very known. What about from your viewpoint, Mimsy, of like, how do you think this will change the dynamic of the group? Not necessarily as Alejandro, just like you as a player.
Yeah, as a player.
I mean, it's something that you gotta wait to see, because like this is the first internal fight that's happened, which ended up with a character's broken leg,
and the first
gone
hug.
into.
I don't know if it's the first fight. It's the first physical fight.
All right, first physical fight. It's gonna be one of those things where you just gotta wait and see what happens, because it's what's the consequences gonna be for Alejandro, because that's part of what's saying. Lindsay probably already knows about this shit. What's
you sounded for your voice, Lindsay probably. You sounded like so full of regret. Lindsay probably already knows about this shit.
I mean, she does. Let's be honest. The fucking guards were watching.
Lindsay has eyes and ears everywhere.
Like Sparta said, like Colette is probably gonna open her yap. So Alejandro is probably like. We'll have to wait and see, to be honest, because it's a difficult one to actually kind of answer to this point. Because will it be tension between Alejandro and Sparta after this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's already the whole clan thing. Now this kind of ignites the old. Could potentially ignite the old rivalry.
I don't know about that, because just at the end of the little conflict, Sparta was not like holding a grudge or anything. He literally picked you up and took you in. And even he said, he's like, we don't hate you, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but that might be how Sparta feels, but who knows how Alejandro is going to react. You know what I mean? Never know. Okay, well we'll kind of transition into part 2 of that question, which Sparta already kind of touched on, was do you think there will be consequences for Alejandro's actions that night and everything that took place? And not really only Alejandro's actions, but also Sparta's actions. Sparta's the one who kind of initiated the fight, if you really think about it. So,
Yep.
you know,
He literally tackled him.
not necessarily only Alejandro's actions in that moment, but basically, do you think there will be consequences for what took place? Like that the dynamic among the group. What do you think there'll be consequences, and if so, what kind? This is all speculation. Obviously, you can think of whatever you want to think of.
I mean, there could be consequences. There could be kicking out or prison or something. But there's also possibilities that that they look at, okay, they had a fight, they attacked each other, they fought it out, type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a good old bar fight. You get a problem, you go outside, have a fight, get that shit out of your system. Inside, share a beer.
Pretty much. But I definitely think Lindsay's going to say something for sure. Especially after everything that had happened earlier in the night. I can't see her not saying something.
Finn's face.
I think at the very least, I think we have an ass chewing coming.
Ass chewing?
I think you're right. I think that it wouldn't be... I think that it's in line with Lindsay and sort of how she has slowly... She's been really patient with this group. And, like, she knows that she's the authority that should be respected, even though that doesn't happen all of the time. She's been really patient with, like, making that happen, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, you would think that it would be more of her style of being like, I'm gonna make you respect me. I'm not gonna, like, wait around for that respect to happen. I mean, she's kind of hinted at that of, like, especially with what she said to Alejandro. She's like, I don't answer to you. Like, this is my fucking city. If you have a problem, you can get the fuck out. Arwen, I will kill you.
Arwen.
It wouldn't be a show without that.
She panicked, and now she's stuck. Just pull your nail in, baby. Oh my god. She's falling off her pillow. Hold on. It's okay. You're not in trouble. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay, my cute fluffy. It's okay.
There we go.
All I said was Arwen, and she's like, and then her nail got stuck. She's like, I'm sorry, Mom. I couldn't help it.
It's a stronger instinct than I am, Mom. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to scratch it. I regret it now.
I just needed to. I needed to do it now.
But I think Lindsay made it very clear that her patience is at its end. And she's kind of tired of having to sit back and let situations happen and not be respected in the way that she should. And not to say that a fight between you guys is a, like, disrespect for her. Obviously, I don't think she would see it that way. So I don't know. We'll see what kind of consequences might come from it, if there are any.
What about you, Fen? What do you think about as far as consequences go for all of that?
What are your speculations?
I mean, honestly, like everybody said, there were various witnesses from various points of views that could very well have already, like, you know, told all the people involved what the fuck is going on. So again, if it was like the first time, it would be probably different, but I feel like maybe the thing that I see happening first is like a really close eye that if anything happens, something bad will happen. And it's not going to be like announced. It's just going to happen at that point. And that's kind of what I'm scared of.
Like, there's not going to be any more warnings, basically.
No, there's not going to be any warnings. So if some shit happens, it's like going to be something immediate. And that's what I'm speculating. Like, I don't think it's going to happen immediately. But if something happens in front of the wrong people, I think the consequences are going to be immediate. And that's going to be the difference moving forward. Just because of like what happened and how it happened.
I feel like that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like she has kind of already like stepped back and like tried to let you guys figure it out and dropped subtle hints and now not so subtle hints. And she's like, okay, you're kind of at the end of your line.
And she walked out literally saying that this is the last warning.
Right.
So that literally means that the next thing, it's not going to be a warning. It's going to probably be like something much worse,
Right. Yeah, she definitely set that up of, like you said, there's not going to be any more talking about this if we have to deal with a situation going forward.
I could definitely see Alejandro getting himself killed.
I don't know. I don't know if they would kill him.
Yeah, I don't know if they would kill him. I think they would just like literally exile him from New Orleans.
Like, I don't want to give too much away of like what I'm thinking as a storyteller, but I don't think that they would actually kill him. I think that he would more so just be like shunned and be like, well, sorry, you're no longer welcome here. Get the fuck out. And then if we see you here, then yeah, we might kill you. But I don't know if they would necessarily kill him unless he did something terrible.
Very bad. Yeah.
But I don't
At the end of the day, guys, like vampires don't want to necessarily kill other vampires.
No.
Like that's literally the last resort. Like I know that there's all this drama, like people like murdering each other. Like these are different factions that kind of like are working against each other. But if you're like in the Camarilla, even if you're like an anarch and a Camarilla, like they don't necessarily want to fight together. They already had to deal with the fucking Sabbat. Like Sabbat is over. Like nobody wants to die.
No.
Nobody wants to like get executed. Like that is literally the last straw. And even like somebody like if Alejandro like had to, I don't know, side with the other people, then yeah, probably, yeah, they would,
Yeah.
make sure that was not happening. But otherwise I feel the same. I feel like the worst consequence would be like they would not allow Alejandro to be in the city anymore and not come back.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm gonna say there, that's a very interesting thing of saying, right? Because if let's say that were to happen in the future, right, that Alejandro gets kicked out, and we say we're gonna make a season 2, that leaves the door open for Alejandro to reappear. Think about that for a moment. Think that the story doesn't go into New Orleans, but it goes into another city with the same.
True.
Because then Alejandro would be exiled from New Orleans, but would he be exiled from other cities?
Well, hopefully not. I mean, he has to have somewhere to go, I guess.
I mean, there's a whole world out there. I
Yeah,
highly
there's,
doubt
like, a
he's
whole
gonna
world out there,
be
exactly.
exiled from everywhere. But yeah, I don't know if we would necessarily change cities for season 2. I guess that would have to be a bridge we crossed later. But I feel like if we spent a significant amount of time developing stories and history in this city, I don't know if I would necessarily want to throw that all away by moving to a different city. Then you have to like redevelop all of that shit.
You got to rebuild a whole new world.
No thanks.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out there as storyteller and say no thanks. Because I put a lot of fucking shit or work into this shit, so not to say it wouldn't be exciting to do it all again, but
put a fucking shit
damn.
in this work.
Yeah, I put so much fucking shit in this work. So much so I can't even speak English.
English.
But no, I don't see them necessarily killing, just because I also know these leaders on a different, I guess, level than you guys do, because
oh yeah,
I've created them. But yeah, they're fucking intense, and like they want shit done the way they want shit done, and they're gonna enforce the traditions when they need to enforce the traditions, but they're not trying to kill people. They're not trying to like be at each other's throats like all of the time, unless you've like really done something terrible, like Isaiah, who has broken several traditions and is a constant threat. It makes sense that they want to eliminate somebody like that, but that's not necessarily what they're looking for. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. Let's see. What are our other questions we usually ask? What was a moment that made you worried?
There was a couple.
I would say let's start with Memsy on this one.
I had two.
Okay. I had several as well.
One was when Alejandro went for the attack.
Yeah, because of the Bane.
Yeah, when Alejandro went for the attack, and when I was rolling at that point, I was like, holy shit, do I have to do this? I don't want to do this, but I have to fucking do this. Another one was when we were trying to figure out the damage on the broken bone. And I was at that point, I was just thinking, I'm dead.
I mean, you have to remember you are a kindred. A broken leg isn't going to kill you.
Thankfully.
There's only a handful of things that actually kill kindreds. And a broken leg is not.
Stake through your heart, like, kills you. It just, like,
it paralyzes
you.
Yeah.
Like, you literally need to be decapitated, set on fire, or put in the sun.
That sounds kind of hard. That's
kind of like the 3 things that can disable, and I guess fire bullets.
True.
I mean, there is a point to where like your body can take too much damage that you can't heal quickly enough to regain, like get back from it, but a broken leg isn't going to do that. You know what I mean? Like a broken limb isn't going to be enough to where your body can't recover fast enough to keep you alive. I mean, a human it doesn't even die from a broken leg.
I'm sad that the feral claws or whatever, they don't do aggro damage to kindred anymore. That used to be the only thing that vampires had in their disposal that used to do aggro damage on other kindred. Sad that they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I was a little sad when she said, "Oh, yeah, they're not aggro."
Well, no, you don't have the discipline. I was talking about the protean. Like in the previous Vampire the Masquerade 20th edition, the one that I played, it was still aggravated damage even if you were kindred or other things. So like, as you know, like I had werewolves in my chronicle too. It was like the only clan that could really do some damage to them too, because of aggravated damage, but not anymore. Sag. Maybe it was a little OP, but whatever. I mean, there's one thing that we have, and it's one motherfucking clan that has it too. Like, should be fine, but okay. They debuffed the discipline. They debuffed it.
They nerfed the gangrel.
They nerfed the gangrels. Yeah, boo, Sedge.
Yeah, the superficial. Okay, I wanted to check. Because I was like, I thought it did. It does aggravated damage to mortals.
Only to mortals.
Gotcha, yeah. Superficial damage
It's a full, like, X of superficial. So it's not halved, if that makes sense. It's full.
Yeah.
So it still affects it more, but it's not aggro damage anymore.
So did you say both of yours? Oh yeah, the attack and the damage. What about you, Sparta?
Oh man, there were so many. The biggest one for sure was when Colette was trying not to eat Nyx's brother. I was like, oh my god. He's gonna eat him, or she's gonna eat him, and Nyx is gonna lose her shit, and all hell is gonna break loose. That had me most worried. But also when Lindsay, I thought Alejandro was gonna like frenzy or something when she told him to get on his knees. I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
That would have been an interesting fight to see.
A very short fight.
Yeah. I would love to see Lindsay and Alejandro go up against each other. Would be quite the sight to see. Alejandro might be fast, but he doesn't have as many things to pull on.
I mean, that would also depends on how you if you rolled to Lindsay like you were rolling to Colette that day. Cause
I was rolling great. I was rolling great for everybody but Colette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Literally.
That sucked.
I know. Every other character I was playing was getting amazing rolls. And then there's Colette getting the shittiest fucking rolls of all. Like, jeez.
Getting hungrier and hungrier.
Yeah,
with the
hungrier
right
and
there.
hungrier, and then about to fall. Yeah, no, that scene, that whole scene, like I was just worried through and through.
I was
just
too.
Like, I literally
so
had my heart in my like throat for that entire fight. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking decapitate all the bitches. I don't give a fuck. I will do it.
When the realization set in that, hey, be nice. When the realization
he's exactly like Mia.
No, he actually, she attacked him this time.
Well, because he went over there and like put his fucking face on her.
No, he's trying to get in the window because he heard the birds, but she's like sitting.
She's like, nope.
She's sitting right where he needs to jump up. Hey, Love Spell, how are you? I haven't seen you in quite a while.
Oh my god, it's Love Spell?
Blast from the past. What's up?
I know, right?
Yeah, that whole scene with Colette, I even said, I was like, I don't want to kill Nyx's brother. Like, And this could be this could happen right now.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
oh, gosh.
Yeah, no.
That
and
would be
in
the
that
end of the
moment,
curry.
yeah, no, in that moment I was like, okay, like she's gonna lose like her touchstone, and she's gonna lose her humanity, and she's gonna go in a frenzy and kill anything that is out there, especially Colette, or try to anyway. So yeah, I was like, oh shit. And now rip Nyx, because like if she attacks Colette and she gets anything done with Colette, she's so it's done, it's over. So
Forget
I was
her.
like, okay, let's get the other character sheet out.
Forget her
Let's send it
ever
over.
being accepted in the Toreador circle at that point.
Yep.
She just killed Ashley's girlfriend.
Mhm.
Welcome to a century-long grudge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene had me on the edge of my seat, and that hasn't particularly happened to me yet in this campaign because yeah, I feel like the stakes were really high and things could have gone really wrong if Colette would have frenzied and went after Edward.
There was just a lot of factors just in that little moment.
I'm really glad I rolled well for at least that roll. Her attacks and things, not on par, but at least her willpower rolls were fucking okay.
Well, thankfully, because already it was not in her favor either with all the hunger that she was like fucking telling up, because she fucking recluded herself in her freaking bedroom for 3 nights.
Right. Oh, and that's the other thing. When Sparta actually showed up and he went up to investigate Edward, I had completely forgotten that I was at 4 hunger. And then when I looked down and I was like, oh shit, I'm about to investigate with 4 hunger and this guy's bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't think about it either. I would have made you roll for it.
I'm like, I'm thankful that my hunger was not bad.
Yeah, I think that was probably the most intense of the entire episode.
Yeah, I
so
was
many
not
things
okay.
could have went bad. If Colette would have frenzied, she would have attacked Edward and likely killed him because she would have not been able to stop feeding once she started because she was so hungry. He would have died. Nyx would have witnessed that. And then she likely would have frenzied and then would have tried to go after Colette. While you also have 5 enemies trying to fight you. And now the coterie is fighting itself. Could have been so bad.
Shit show.
People would have died. People would have died for sure.
Shit show.
Oh, I'm glad that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that the right people died or were attacked because nobody technically died. Our win. I'm sorry, Mom. Look how cute I am, Mom. Don't yell at me. Yeah, that was I don't know why I did that to myself. Literally, it's so funny.
It was a great, like, exciting moment. But yeah. I definitely was fucking, like, terrified for a second.
I was too. Because I knew that I was going to do what I did, but I didn't factor in all of the variables before I made that decision. And then I knew Colette was hungry because I was like, it would only make sense for her hunger to be a little bit high because she's been locked up in the house. And her hunger was at 2 the night that everything happened, like before we did the time gap.
Yeah, but then you missed 2 rouse checks.
Right. So, and I was rolling for her, and she was getting hungrier and hungrier, and so she was already at hunger 4. at the start of that night.
Yeah.
And then I failed her fucking rouse check for prowess or whatever, however it's said. And then I was like, oh, God. Fuck.
It's over. Rip.
So, yeah, I hadn't considered all of that when I made the decision to bring Edward into and that, like, all of that happened. I hadn't considered the fact that Colette was sitting in the house really fucking hungry to start with. And then he would be the closest human. Which is funny because he technically wasn't the closest human. The guard was. Because the guard is a ghoul. He's not kindred. Which I don't know if you guys put two and two together that those security guards are not kindred. And that's why they didn't run out to save you, Alejandro.
They're gonna
like,
be fucking security.
That's
like that security is like Wish.com security right there.
I was gonna
keep you safe.
They're not there to keep you safe. That's not their job. Alejandro has a very clear misunderstanding of what that security duty is actually there to do. They're not there to lay their life down for you. The only person they lay their life down for is Lindsay, because her vitae runs through their body, not Alejandro's. They're not going to jump in front of a bullet for you. Because at the end of the day, while they're a ghoul, they're still fucking humans, and they have human instincts. And what human is going to go run into a fight with a bunch of kindred? None.
True.
Unless that kindred is the one who they're bonded with, that's going to be the only time you would see a ghoul actually run in front of a bullet. Because when you get to a certain level of a blood bond, they do anything for you. They will die for you in a second, in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do that for anybody else. Baby. Like, that's the thing. Like, they're human. Like, yeah, they have some abilities and they're stronger and shit, but their human instinct still is they're not kindred like you are. They're not going to go run out there. And I was going to have Lindsay make that point in her, like, speech, but I was like, her focus isn't on her security. Her focus is on, like, getting Alejandro to realize that she's the fucking authority. She doesn't need to explain to him why her security detail did what they did. I mean, I feel like it's sort of common sense to understand as a kindred that if you didn't know that they were ghouls, then yeah, it might make more sense. If you thought that they were kindred, then perhaps a kindred would be more willing because they are strong and they know that they can go up against a kindred. But a human knows that they can't fight a kindred and win. You know what I mean? Like, and ghouls, they know about your world. Like, they know what you are. So they know that those people that you guys were fighting are other kindred, and they could rip their head off in a heartbeat, or whatever. So they're not gonna run out there. The only person that they're willing to do that for is Lindsay. Now, if Lindsay was there and she was getting attacked, then yeah, you would have fucking seen all of them security guards come out of the woodwork, because they would be there to protect her and be like, wait a minute, you're killing this person that I'm, like, infatuated with. Fuck no. And then there'd be all kinds of little humans running around. But they hid. They were like, fuck this. The vampires are fighting. I'm gonna go hide in this bush. I don't exist.
Like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I'm not here. I don't exist. But yeah, so I didn't think about that during the situation, because technically when Colette frenzied, she was standing next to the security guard. And I'm assuming that you would still want to feed off of them, right? Even though they're a ghoul? I don't know how that works. Human. It's still, okay, yeah. So I guess technically she probably would have went after him instead of Edward. But, like, I I wasn't thinking about the fucking security guard dying. I was like, oh my god, Edward's gonna die. I don't care if the security dude dies.
Oh my god. No.
I did think the security was kindred as well. I didn't even think about them possibly being ghouls.
Yeah, no, they're all ghouls. They're all. She doesn't have a lot. She doesn't have kindred working for her. She has a handful of kindred. Yeah.
I kind of knew already, but I can meta.
Yeah.
I knew already because that's normal.
Right.
Like
It's
usually the
completely normal.
security is goals. They're goals. They're just like extra powerful humans. Sometimes it depending on the kindred and whatever, they develop usually strength related or dexterity related things like fortitude, potence, and celerity. And that's it. And it's one level, and that is it. They can heal, like,
and they
kindred.
don't age.
They don't age, so their aging stops completely until they have like the of their maker or whatever. But otherwise, they're absolutely human.
Yeah.
They eat, they sleep, they need to eat, they need to sleep. So they're fully humans. They're just bonded level 3 to another kindred.
Right.
But honestly, that's mainly like you read it everywhere. It's not that every kindred has like an army of
kindred.
Like, kindred at their disposal. Like unless you're the prince, then you have the entire city at your disposal. But usually your own security, that's your goals. Those are your goals. Those are your servants, your human servants.
And all of the people that have been taking care of you guys and working security for you guys is Lindsay's personal security. So that means Lindsay has literally every single time she has sent security to guard you, she is making herself vulnerable. Because those are her personal security team. Like, and she only has so many. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not gonna have this abundant amount of security.
The same thing for like making a vampire. You have to have permission to get goals too.
Right.
Because creating a goal means allowing a human being inside the society of
it's
kindred.
A risk to the masquerade.
So it's still a risk, no matter like the bond and whatever. Yeah, you can curb it with the bond level 3, sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a risk. So you still need to get approved. So it's not that like they can go out there and be like, oh, they need security over there. Let's make a few goals over here, like right now, like bring them over to the property.
Yeah.
Let's go to Walmart and pick up a few ghouls.
Yeah. Let's pick up a few ghouls.
I need to put an order in.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Let's go over there. Home Depot, actually, probably better.
Yeah. So it's like the amount of security she has is limited. And if you think about it, for 3 nights, technically 4 nights, most of her security was at that house. So the security that was actually with her was probably a lot less than what is normally with her, because she told them to go to the house and keep watch at the house. So I think that's another reason why, like, that would be another level of her frustration with Alejandro, like, lashing out at her about security. Be like, bitch, motherfucker, these are my security. And they're here to watch you and to report to me as soon as something goes down so that I can get here. And you're going to get in my face about what my security does when technically they should be out protecting me? No, I don't have time for your bullshit. She literally is like, I don't want to hear another thing unless it's constructive. That's what she literally said to him. I thought that was really funny. She's like, you have nothing constructive to say, like, ever.
Well, I mean, he has, but every time he does, it gets thrown in his face.
She doesn't consider it constructive. You have to think about Lindsay's experience versus Alejandro's experience. Lindsay's almost 300 years old. You really think she's going to take advice and direction from a vampire that's 30 years old and new to her city? No. You are a baby to Lindsay. You know what I mean? Like, she's been doing this long enough she doesn't need advice from somebody like Alejandro, and she's not going to take advice from somebody like Alejandro. She's going to brush him off because in her eyes, she's like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been here long enough. I've been alive long enough. Thanks, but no thanks. If you want to go help Nyx, cool. She's a week old. She needs your help a little bit more than I do. So to Lindsay, she doesn't see the things that Alejandro is saying as constructive because she's like, I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. That's sort of how Lindsay sees it. And I feel like most leaders in that level, that's typically how they respond to that type of criticism. They're like, don't tell me how to do my job. I already know how to do my job. Thanks. Unless you're my boss, then yeah. Like, if Prince Catalina was telling her those things, then maybe she would listen and not give as much backlash, you know? But that's even how leaders, like, in the human world are. They're not necessarily open to criticism from people that are in a lower rank than them because in their mind, they're like, I know more than you. Whether that's true or not. I'm not saying that that's a good philosophy to have as a person. I don't have that philosophy as a person.
That's actually kind of terrible. Like, pulling the rank card. Like,
that's how the world works. Dude.
Sadly.
That is sadly how hierarchy works. And especially a system like the Camarilla that is incredibly, what is the word? Whatever, I can't say it. The hierarchy of their group is really important. They don't you're scum. To somebody like Lindsay, who has that position, get out of my face. She's not gonna, on that level of like, leadership and how to do her job, she's not going to respect you. She might respect you as like a fellow kindred, but as somebody telling her how to do her job, no. And like I said, that's how the world works, sadly. It's how a lot of people think in even our world, not a made-up world. There's a lot of people that think that their rank and their social status puts them above others, and that's a very real thing that we deal with as a human race, you know? Like I said, I don't have that philosophy in life. I think that I can learn something from everybody, no matter who I am and what experience I have versus them, but that doesn't necessarily translate into the characters that I play. So, at the end of the day, I am playing a character. I'm not necessarily reflecting my own beliefs in life and my own philosophies. If that was the case, I think we would have a very different campaign. Everybody would be like, woo, I love you. I accept you for who you are.
Unpack your trauma right now.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And talk about our feelings.
Let's talk about what's made you the way you are.
Do you need a hug?
But yeah, my philosophy of life is much different than the characters I play. But, I mean, that's just one thing to remember. At the end of the day, we are role-playing. We are telling a story. I even had I think, do I still have it? I don't know if I still have it as a disclaimer on my channel. No, I think I took it off. But I had like a disclaimer on the About Me where I basically said, please remember that I am portraying a character And the things that my character does and says are not a direct reflection of how I feel as a person, or things that I would do, or things that I would say. Like, I am role playing. And I think the reason I took that off is because I knew GTA roleplay wasn't going to be my focus anymore. So I was like, I don't think this needs to be on here. But that goes back to differentiating and disconnecting from you as a person and you as a character, which we were talking. Sparta was asking us, like, is it hard for you guys to, like, disassociate from your character? Like, yeah, it can be hard to do that. It can be hard to, especially with a new character, it's like, how would my character react to this versus how would I react to this? And, like, making sure that your reactions are in line with what your character would actually do.
True.
But that all comes with time. And as you learn your character, it becomes kind of second nature of knowing how they would react to something versus, like, how you would react to something.
I agree.
Because Sparta was like, I have a hard time sometimes with the decisions.
It's like, I don't want to do it, but I know this is what he would do. So just do it.
Just do
Yeah,
it.
it's the.
And then I feel guilty afterwards. I'm like, God damn it. It's the guilt that gets me afterwards.
I mean, it happens, right? You know.
Ooh.
Yep. Like, after I broke Alejandro's leg, I felt so bad. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, okay.
I just bullied the shit out of him.
Yeah,
but I mean,
Sparta...
if you didn't...
Go ahead.
If you didn't do it, your life would still be at risk.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, you know, if Alejandro managed to get himself loose, he would still be attacking you.
Yeah.
True.
And you would still not have a chance to grab him. Like,
to be honest,
not with Fleet.
I think part of me was like, I wish that Sparta would have let him go, like, actually let him fight. But just because, like, it would have been fun to see what happens. Like, an actual fight take place. Because I don't feel like that was much of a fight. It was Alejandro stabbed Sparta, and then Sparta threw him to the ground and held him down and broke his leg. That was it.
If he hadn't have frenzied, it would have gone on longer. But Sparta would have recognized after he frenzied, he wasn't in his right mind, and it had to end.
Yeah, but
wait, Alejandro's in his right mind? At any point?
Not like a raving beast.
It's running all around. But yeah, I think that if, like, an actual fight had taken place, then that probably would have ended a lot differently. But I can see why Sparta made the decisions that he did. In his eyes, he's like, well, I'm just going to, like, make it to where you can't run away. And you can't move. So I think it was kind of vicious to break his leg, though.
It was. I felt so guilty. Out of character. I was just like, I just bullied the fuck out of him. I'm so sorry.
You know, and Nyx was there with her fucking little knives being like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then she goes and sits down with him.
She's like, I'm just gonna sit right here.
I'm just gonna sit down for a second.
What are your thoughts about Ashley showing up after 4 days of whatever? Because really, I guess Nyx is the only one that knows what happened.
Yeah, Nexus, the
no
other
one
one.
else in character knows what happened between those two.
I mean,
For Sparta, it's like she just showed up like
Yeah,
every
Sparta
other night.
has actually like no context of what's going
no,
on.
even because he didn't really know.
He didn't
He
know
was in
that.
jail.
Yeah,
He was in jail when the whole fight happened,
he probably
so he
thinks
didn't
she's
even
been coming
know.
every night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's not any
And
different.
Alejandro was in his room too, so he didn't really probably pay that much attention. And like he
I
heard
mean,
the screams, but
He
I
heard the
mean
argument.
everybody in the
doesn't
house
know what
that night
happened.
heard it.
Yeah, Alejandro didn't know, like, heard the fight. He would probably have paid attention because he would normally be either in his room or in front of the TV playing Mortal Kombat. So she would have actually passed him, but like maybe side vision, like not didn't put much thought into like, nah, she's not coming. No, I'm playing Sub-Zero.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have necessarily put a lot of thought into it. He would have maybe noticed,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, no, I noticed, like Nyx noticed that Ashley came by and she was just like, don't even ask, Ashley, just go. Just go. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Nothing is happening here. There's no gossip happening here.
She was all about the drama,
Ashley's
though.
like, "Oh yes, there is. I know gossip when I see it." Who are you
Who
trying to
fought who?
fool?
Like, I love it that she said something like that. She was like,
She's like,
so
"Wait, who did
who
this?"
beat him up? I think she did say
She
that.
asked. She asked. She was like, "Is it who I'm here to see?" Because and she's like, "Because if it is, if she's in that bad of a mood, then I should probably just get in my car and go."
Right.
I was like, nope, other person. Don't worry about it.
That's what she wanted to make sure before she went into that house. She's like, "This bitch is already mad at me, so if she's
But I
mad
mean,
at other
it's a
people."
noted. Like, I don't think, again, like, I don't necessarily like the beauty of, again, having a character that was a human. Like, she's not a Toreador. She's Nick. She's Eden,
Yeah.
who took another name because she's trying to become this other thing or embrace what she was embraced as.
Find her.
But she's just her. So,
Mhm.
like, all the drama of, like, the socialite of Toreadors and stuff like that, she doesn't understand that. She doesn't care yet, you
Mhm.
know?
She hasn't tapped into all that.
Yeah, she hasn't tapped into that at all.
Mhm.
Um, so it's going to be interesting to see how it develops because I'm like, but what if she doesn't necessarily go into that world because she sees like a lot of the things that she maybe have like maybe didn't really like that much about the industry,
Mhm.
the kind of superficiality and like it's all about the bling, but there's maybe no substance. Maybe it's just all about like gossips and who and maybe that's not what she's gonna be. Like, who knows? Like, again, I'm very curious about where the journey is gonna take her because like I feel like it really depends on who she is around because
Yeah.
she's not around Toreadors at all.
Yeah.
True.
But
She's gonna turn into a button pusher. Watch. That's the goal for the campaign. She is going to push a button before we are done.
I'm like, no, 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 no. She already was the first one saying, I'm impulsive. We both need to count to 10. I need to count to 10 before I run over with fleetness and mech truck somebody, even though it was a good choice at that point. But, you never know. What if it was a kindred and it was a very bad idea? You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. I think that eventually with time she will, I think that it's like probably in her nature that eventually she'll start to flock toward the Toreador. Especially when she starts to get to know them all a little bit better, because she doesn't know them. You know what I mean? She hasn't spent a significant amount of time. But
no, I mean, it makes absolute sense, right? Like right now she's gonna be thrown into a group to go investigate. Like that's not her thing.
Right.
Like she's an entertainer. Like the fuck? You know,
Yeah.
and that's what she wanted to do.
And I think when she starts to get like wrapped up into their world and like the things that they do, because they're all the same type of way, you know what I mean? Even like Penelope, even though Penelope is like much different than Ashley, like Penelope is also a performer. Like that's the kind of things that she cares about. She's a dancer, or sorry, she's an artist, and she wants to perform for people. She just does it in a different way than, you know, Ashley as a dancer and even Eden as a singer and performer. Like, but that's the kind of stuff that they strive for, you know, and that's the kind of attention they want. So that's the type of setting they create for themselves. And I think that eventually, once Nick starts to get more involved with that and like see that that's how they are and see that those are the types of things that they get into, then she'll naturally kind of begin to gravitate towards that group more. Because those are the things that give her like fulfillment, so to speak. Like, you know, that's the stuff she wants, and she even wanted in her human life. So it just hasn't happened because there hasn't been the right moments for those kind of relationships to start to form. Not yet, anyway. I think that they'll come with time. And I think every situation, well, the few situations that Toreador have been around, which has only been 2, which is one is the like house party that they went to, but then things went south and got super intense with that. And then the second one was the other night when Prince Catalina initiated the blood hunt. But Nyx was like so wrapped up in her emotions and everything that was going on, and she wasn't gonna like go trotting over to like all of the Toreadors who were like enjoying themselves. Like
no, I went to speak with the weirdos that I haven't met yet, because that's the type of like person that Eden was. Just wanted to like know a little bit of everything.
Yeah. But I think that will come with time once situations start to kind of fall into place. She'll start to learn her place too and where she kind of fits in. I'm interested to see if she's going to be a more stereotypical Toreador or not. You never know. Because, I mean, even, like, looking at LA by Night, like, Nellie fits into a lot of the same, like, stereotypes as a Toreador, but she's not, like, over the top how you would expect. You know what I mean? Like, there are, like, certain aspects of her life that are very, like, Toreador, and it's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. But it doesn't like consume her. It's not like Ashley level. So obviously every kindred is different, you know. You don't always have to fit right into the stereotypes. There's going to be some of the stereotypes of your clan just because that's who you are, you know. At your core, that's who you are. But you have people like Lev, who is Gangrel, looking like a fucking Ventru.
Exactly.
Acting like a Ventru, you know what I mean? Fooling everybody. So everyone's gonna have a...
Told me, I was shooketh when you said it.
Right.
I was like,
wait, he's a gangrel?
okay.
That's the other thing that I was actually I've been thinking about. since Lev is so close to Lindsay and Sparta is his cousin, and Sparta's obviously going to want to get closer to Lev, if I'm curious to see if Sparta will try to interact more with Lindsay. Because if he's going to be hanging out with Lev a lot more, that means he's probably going to be running into Lindsay a lot more.
True. And Lindsay does seem to have a pretty strong relationship with Lev, considering the fact that she literally stood up in front of the entire city and questioned Catalina on Lev's behalf. Kind of shows that there's a pretty strong connection there.
I still want to, yeah.
And then got her ass beat.
Yeah. That actually took me by surprise when, well, I wasn't there because I was in jail, but
jail.
When you said that, I was like, oh shit, she's injured.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
That's some tough love.
Catalina might be her grandmama, but she still beat that ass. She's like, you fucking questioned me in front of your peers? Not again. You will not have the opportunity to do that again.
Anybody else probably would have been killed.
Possibly. I don't know if Catalina would have killed them. She probably maybe would have roughed them up a little bit more than she did Lindsay, but she proved her point to Lindsay of there's clear consequences. I think I feel like that alone should have been like enough to be like, okay, I need to get my shit together as somebody like Alejandro. Fucking Lindsay got her ass beat and she's Lindsay. Like,
yeah. She's like the sheriff. She has connections, literally straight connections to the prince by blood, and she got her ass whooped. Like nobody is exempt, even because of status at all.
And just because you're the sheriff doesn't mean you're going to be the sheriff forever. Doesn't mean you're going to hold that role forever. I mean, Prince Catalina can take that away. She gave that to you. She can take that away just as quickly as she gave you that title.
Yep.
Not indefinite, you know? She'll be like, well, your duties are done. Thanks for your commitment. Next.
Yeah, next. Let's get somebody that doesn't fucking act up, in front of everybody.
But yeah, I wanted to make sure that you guys saw that of like, oh wow, there is even consequences for somebody like Lindsay.
Didn't surprise me that much as just to what you portrayed like Catalina as.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oof. Whenever Lindsay acted up, I was like, oof, she's gonna see one.
She's gonna get in trouble.
Grandma's gonna get a little spanking by grandma.
Yeah.
And it sure happened.
Did indeed. She probably knew that she would get in trouble too. But that shows like the links she's willing to go to for the people that she cares about.
Yeah.
She knew that there would be consequences for standing up and questioning Catalina like she did, but she also is willing to take that risk for somebody that she truly cares about, like Lev. So there's a lot of history between those two that will come out with time.
I can't wait, because you said like the thing about, the kindred not being like embraced by Will or not having a choice, and now me as Fenice, I'm like, oh, does that mean that Lindsay didn't have a choice?
Maybe not.
It's true.
We don't know Lindsay's mama. We know Lindsay's grandma is kind of cray cray. So we can just imagine what her kids might be like. But we don't know what kind of kindred Lindsay's sire is because we haven't met her in character.
Yeah, what if Lindsay's sire like went rogue and actually is no more?
Oh, it could be. And that's why she likes taking in strays.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, I'm already like, whenever Jenna said it at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, my brain
try
has
to be
been
careful.
my brain has been like,
Right?
You're like, wait a minute. What happened? What trauma did she experience?
What is the trauma here? Let's unpack this. Lindsay, would you like to come for a drink?
Right?
I know a guy. Nick knows a guy now.
I got this dude's phone number. He's pretty cool.
I got this dude's phone number. He's cute. He's very respectful. He's a good time. You can come and drink. You know, I'll watch. No, I can turn around if it's okay. If you don't want me to watch. Like the awkwardness. Like
that would be so awkward.
Like this would be literally like Nick's trying to organize. Oh my god, I'm like imagining
it's like when you're
organizing her first event for Kindred and be like, wait,
it's like when you're nervous to ask somebody on a date, so you just like
say the most random shit.
Yeah, maybe we could like eat cheese sticks or something. Just some random ass shit, like you're so nervous. That would be Nick's trying to invite Lindsay to something.
Over to do something.
Lindsay just be like,
what?
Okay. And it's funny too because she's a Ventru, and Ventru are really picky with what they eat.
Very picky, yeah. And Nyx doesn't know this information.
No.
Like she was like preferences.
Yeah, when Lindsay asked, Lindsay's like, "Oh, okay, wait. I think that's just a thing, right?"
Yeah, no. For her, like it kind of went over her head. She's like, preferences for what? Like, is there a vegan option?
Their options? Like, what do you mean?
What do you
like
mean?
A buffet?
Like, what do you mean? Like, type of blood? Or like, what? Like, she was confusion, but she's like, no, it's whatever, blood.
Yeah, the interesting thing with Ventru is like when they feed outside of their preference, like sometimes it can actually make them sick, especially the older that they are. They puke
it out. Yeah, it actually hinders them.
Yeah, it's a very big hindrance for Ventru. Yeah. Like it can be really hard for like new Ventru because you don't know what your preference is. You don't really know what you like yet. So like every time you feed, like it's an awful experience because you get sick and you don't feel well. It like doesn't fulfill you, and it's an interesting experience for them until they figure it out. The older you get, like the stronger that feeling is. Like once you know what your preference is and then you eat outside of that preference, it usually just makes you vomit straight away. It's just your body like rejects it.
Yeah.
Fucking they're like toddlers going through their picky eating stage. But forever.
Yeah, but like forever. I want the dinosaur.
I only want the dinosaur ones. These ones are not dinosaur shaped, mommy.
I don't want the stars and the little smiley faces. I want the fucking dinosaurs.
Where's the T-Rex? They're in that stage of life just forever now.
Perennially, forever. Yeah.
For the rest of their existence.
I wonder what is Lindsay's preference.
Maybe you'll find out one day what she likes when she feeds.
I mean, I don't even know that Ventru
True. In
has
character, you don't even
So
know
I'm
that's a thing.
like, boys, girls, is that like what you're trying to ask?
Tall, skinny,
Tall,
fat.
skinny, ugly,
It
blonde.
actually can be something as simple like that for Ventru.
Yeah.
It can be like they only feed on gay people.
Or blue-eyed people.
Yeah.
Or
it can be an
French
appearance.
people.
Yeah, it can be an appearance thing. It can be like an emotional thing. It can be all different like sort of things. It's very I think it's super interesting. It also seems very limiting.
Right?
Oh,
And to
yeah.
figure it out, you have to do like a graph to try to be like,
Like, here's
what do we have in
Lindsay.
common?
Okay, I have an idea for our one shot with Lindsay. There's gonna be a night where she's journaling. Today I ate da da da. She's gonna have a food journal.
List off the attributes.
Well, today I
Today I
tried a
ate this
guy. He had red hair. I didn't like it. And she like scratches off redheads off her list.
Gingers, it's not it.
Not my thing.
Not that.
I think that would be very comical. I'm gonna make a note. Lindsay reflects on her feeding.
Is it like a blood related thing? Like DNA and stuff like that? Is it related to that? Do you think?
What do you mean?
I just thought about that because I'm like, well, preference, like for example, yeah, it could be like, okay, like I only feed off of like powerful like people that are super rich.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that thing can change how they would taste it in the blood. But something like nationality, color of skin, or eyes, or features and stuff like that, that's very much genetic.
It could be, yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what it ties into because it ties into anything. It can be an emotional state. Like they'll only feed off of people who are sad. Like that is a thing. Or it can be a physical feature.
So being like, okay, so have you been feeling depressed lately?
Are you sad? How often are you sad?
Are you sad now? On a scale on 1 to 10.
When will you be sad?
How sad do you think you are right now?
Do you see sadness in your future anytime soon?
Which honestly, I feel like emotional states would be like one of the hardest. Like if that was like their preference. Because how the fuck do you determine that? Unless you're just like,
well, I mean,
I'm gonna fucking break into like
to feed off of like angry people, then you can make anybody angry.
True.
Yeah,
I guess you could make anybody sad if you did it the right way.
Yeah.
That would be so fucked up, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you feel terrible about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'm gonna eat.
Just fucking start insulting them.
You're like, oh, do you remember that goldfish you had?
They have it's like a trial and error. It's like fuck, they got mad instead of depressed. Damn it.
Damn it.
But yeah, so I feel like I feel like rage would be like an easy one. Or like happiness. Happiness would be pretty easy. I feel like it would be easy to find a happy person. I don't know. I guess it could be easy.
Would happiness really be easy? Because a lot of people hide their own pain.
Yeah.
Showing happiness.
Go to a bar. After you have a few drinks, people are happy.
True.
Most people, they either become really happy because they forget about their problems, or they get really sad because their problems are amplified. Those are usually the two, or you get really angry because you're an aggressive drunk. Like, I feel like it's pretty easy to find all emotions in a bar. Just go to a college party. I'm sure you'll find.
Oh my god!
You'll
You
find
can find
everything.
You find the crying bitch in the corner.
You find the horny people.
The horny people. Yeah, the angry people.
Yeah, you can find every emotion.
The loners that didn't really want to go, but they were forced by their friends. So they just stand in the corner like these
uncomfortable.
Yep.
And fearful.
I feel like
fear
you can find every emotion.
That it would be very easy for like a Ventru to instill.
Oh
just
yeah.
fucking activate that dawn and like literally just
fucking hiss at them,
pounce on them, and like bye, it's over. Yeah. Like they're already like terrified. There you go. That's pretty easy.
Yeah. But yeah, Ventru's feeding is quite interesting to me. I think Ventru's as a whole, that's why they're my favorite. They're interesting clan. I love them. They're my favorite. I think Ventru and Brujas are the characters I would choose to play if I was a player in a story or a campaign. Oh, I feel like we got onto a long tangent about nothing, but hey, that's fine.
Squirrel.
Squirrel moment.
Let's see. What else can we ask about our episode? We talked about worried moments, favorite moments. I feel like worried and scared kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my kitties. I don't know. Do you guys have any other pressing questions?
I mean, I'm wondering to Sparta if he got the reference of what Alejandro called him.
That reference went right over my head.
Which one?
The numbers
when
he
Alejandro
rattled
called
off.
Him.
67395.
No, 24601.
No, that definitely went over Sparta's head as well as mine.
Yeah, I made a face. I was like, what?
What was the reference?
Les Mis. The protagonist, Jalvin John's prisoner number.
Oh!
Before he escapes it.
I never would have remembered that number. Absolutely. I love the movie. I never would have.
What?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Movie night.
Right?
Never
need to watch it. It's so good.
It really is.
It's so good.
I love the music in it.
Yeah. Needs to happen in our near future.
Yeah. Musical person.
I'm not either, to be honest. I don't usually enjoy musicals. The only musicals I like are Chicago.
It's very specific. I love Chicago. Chicago is good.
Yeah. I like Chicago, Grease, and Les Mis. Those are literally like the three I like.
I mean, Grease is a classic, and the music's great.
The Sound of Music is definitely one of my favorite. I love that one.
Oh, true. That one is also one I love. I grew up watching that and Grease. And then Chicago when I was a little bit older, because that one's kind of not really for kids.
Yeah, no, definitely not for kids. No.
No, I think I was a teenager when I watched that one. Something like that. I watched it with my sister. I don't think I was supposed to watch it. I might have been a little bit younger, but whatever. I watched a lot of movies I wasn't supposed to watch because my sister is 5 years older than me. So
me too.
I watched them because she was watching them.
See, I love musicals. West Side Story also one of my favorites.
I didn't like West Side Story. I don't know. There are a lot of musicals that I don't like. I was forced to go and watch Mamma Mia, and I hated every moment of it. I was like, this is fucking stupid. I was so upset. That movie was just annoying. Those
I think like older.
I don't know.
Older musicals, I feel like were better than a lot of the stuff that gets made now.
Do you mean opera? Because that's the OG musical right there.
True.
I've seen Dumb Butterfly. I've seen like a bunch of Italian opera that lasts 5 hours.
All right.
No, thank
In
you.
Now I'm
theater.
thinking like, if we're talking
it's
about
beautiful.
musicals made to movie, Hair is definitely a favorite, and that's just for the music alone. Like that
Hair was fun. The movie was fun.
the
I like
funky 60s. Jesus Christ Superstar was actually kind of good. That's probably the only Bible movie I actually care about.
Never seen it.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Cats.
I cannot stand Cats. I'm sorry, but
that shit was
Wow.
stupid.
Music.
I was not a fan.
No.
Maybe like if I went and saw that one in theater, I feel like I would enjoy it more in theater. I would appreciate it more. It's very theatrical. But when they made it into a movie, I was like, this is not entertaining.
I'm talking about the actual musical, not the new whatever.
Yeah.
I know it's been slaughtered. But yeah.
Did we ask a question? How did we start talking about this?
We got squirreled again.
I feel like somebody asked a question and then we started talking about this random shit.
Oh, he asked me about the reference that.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said it went right over my head, both in character and out.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get the reference either. I didn't pick up on it. I was like, what the fuck? Did he just like call him a Jew? Like, that's the first thing I thought. It's like the only thing I could think about was like during the Holocaust when the Jews would like get their number like tattooed on their arm, and I was like, I'm confused. Like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, that was the only like relation I made in my head, and I was like, I don't think that's it, because that does not make any sense. I'm like, did you just call him a Jew without calling him a Jew? What? Why is he a Jew? And what does what does this have to do with the Holocaust? Okay, no. I was just like, that's not it. Connection not made. Critical failure. Abort. But yeah, no, I didn't get the random numbers being spat off. I don't feel like Sparta in character would know what the fuck that was, though. Like,
No,
come on.
not.
You're talking to this backwoods fucking redneck. You think he ever seen that movie? No. He probably didn't even have a TV in his house.
Yeah, you were barking up the wrong tree for that one.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Because Alejandro even said if you don't get that reference, that shows how the level of your intelligence or something. And I was like, oh, I'm offended.
Sparta he just like,
Sparta's like, I know I'm dumb, you idiot.
Right.
You ain't gotta tell me.
Poor Sparta.
Listen, I know I'm big and dumb, but I'm good for
and
some
I don't
things.
even care. It's like, I don't even care.
I like how Sparta's response is like,
I broke your fucking
yeah,
legs.
Sparta's like, really? This is coming from the guy on the ground? You gonna call me dumb? Oh, God.
True.
Sparta's like, I don't care, dude. You can call me dumb all you want. I just broke your fucking leg. What you gonna do about it? Oh, God. I don't think anybody has told Sparta he's dumb, though.
No.
Not to his face.
He doesn't. He wouldn't care though. Honestly,
He'd probably be like, "Yeah, I know."
like he knows the areas he's strong in for sure, and smarts isn't up there.
It's not really the intelligence department. I mean, he's smart in other ways,
Exactly.
like survival. which would be really good to have as a kindred. You're probably going to outlast a lot of people that aren't very smart in that department.
Oh, definitely Nyx, because Nyx is like, I'm not going to survive anywhere.
I'm just going to die.
Where's my hot bath? Where's my comfortable bed? California King, please. Thank you. Yes, I do occupy the entire space because I sleep diagonally.
Oh,
okay.
God. Sleeps like this.
All this bed is mine.
Can just see like her like getting in position before she like falls asleep.
Yeah, diagonal.
It's like, how does such a little person take up so much space?
I can. I would love a California king.
California kings are actually like really big.
They're huge.
Yeah, they are.
I pet sit for somebody a long time ago that had a California king, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with the amount of space in this bed. Like, my God.
Roll in it. Just
my dog would still take up all of it.
Yep, my cats would be like...
My cats would find a way to shove me to the corner of that fucking bed.
Yep.
Exactly.
I'd wake up on the edge, be like, how did this happen?
How? I have all this fucking space. How did it fucking happen? But yeah, no, for sure.
Because they rule
like,
the world.
Hey, let me have some space. I want to share the bed too.
No space for you.
No
well,
space.
I can't think of anything else to discuss about the actual episode. Any last words from any of you guys? I'm excited.
I think we touched on everything. We're pretty good about hitting all the topics.
Yeah. And then, like, I just don't want to go on to too much speculation. And then, like, you know, I think, you know what? What are we looking forward to next episode? That's, I think, always, like, a good question to ask at the end as we're wrapping up.
Yeah. What are you guys looking forward to happening next episode?
2 things. Seeing what happens between Sparta and Alejandro, and seeing what happens between Sparta and Lev.
They're gonna be best friends. Plot twist: Lev like is not interested at all in being friends with. That would be so.
Sparta's like, love me.
Lev's like, nah, fam.
No, I think honestly Lev wouldn't be able to because like Sparta is just too cute. Like you wouldn't be able to like say no to him.
Yeah, I don't feel like Lev is that kind of character anyway. He seems like a pretty genuine dude.
Yeah.
Just the way that he's like interacted with everyone.
Few words, but still nice, and you know, like he was so nice. He brought everything for Nyx, and like made her little sewing thing, and with all the things that she asked, it was so sweet.
Plus, he still has to see me at Sunday dinner, whether he likes it or not.
And he didn't even judge her.
No, he didn't. He didn't say anything. He was like, okay.
Don't worry, I'll get you whatever you need. Yeah, he's too genuine to be like, fuck you. Get away from me. I don't see him doing that. Yeah.
So cute.
He's a nice guy. For sure. Okay. So I can see nice things happening in one of those departments, maybe. What about you, Mimsy? What's something you're looking forward to?
I think I have to agree with Sparta on this one and to see the dynamic. Like, how is Alejandro going to respond to his attitude towards Sparta now?
Do you think, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you think that the dynamic between him and Colette will be damaged based off of everything that was said that night?
Maybe. Maybe. Um, and that's all I can say because like Colette, pretty much said that he don't trust me and all that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro is like, he's carefree. He doesn't really like okay. So it's gonna be one of those interesting things to see how the dynamic in full with Sparta, the dynamic with Colette is gonna happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing we know Alejandro will dig if he gets pissed off enough. So we never know what's gonna happen.
Dun dun dun.
I mean,
Next
this is
episode.
this
Oh.
this is literally what the week is for, right? Start preparing your character, how you're gonna play him for the next upcoming episode.
I don't.
Prepare yourself emotionally.
I don't like to do that too much because if not, like it just for me like a hyper preparing feels very limiting at a certain point because
It's not
then
exact.
you're just setting up yourself for like doing certain things and reacting in certain ways instead of like just allowing it to just happen.
Mm-hmm. Allowing it to just happen in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a level. I think it's also different for everyone.
No, I agree with that. That's what
Because,
works
like,
for me. Because I get
I personally, because of how I am as a person, it's better for me to prepare for all the different possibilities. Because when I'm not prepared for all of the possibilities, then I can clam up. Although it's a lot different in role play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's more so me as like a person. Like if Jenna was going through a situation. But I do see that translate a little bit into role play for me. But I don't prepare for our sessions to the extent that I would prepare for something like conflict in real life.
I mean, especially with my earth energy, there's definitely some preparation that I got to do.
Yeah. So I think that that's probably different. The preparation process is probably different for everyone. But I do try not to. I get what you're saying because I try not to prepare too much because I don't want to be rigid. I don't want to be like already have it in my mind like what's going to happen. I want to
Still have to be able to adapt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like there is a certain level of preparation for me, but it's not to the extent, like I said, if I was preparing for some type of conflict in real life, because in role play, you can't determine what's going to happen. You can't determine what the other person's going to do. And I feel like if you try to do that, then you aren't staying true to your character and you aren't staying true to the role play that's happening. So
I agree.
True.
But yeah, for me as storyteller, it's definitely a different process though. Like,
oh yeah, no, like you kind of have to prepare.
Yeah.
It's very
I'm preparing for other things. I'm not necessarily preparing for how my character is going to react.
I personally do my little acting work, which I used to do in school to prepare to go on a scene when I had to shoot in class. Which is like do a routine in your character's like demeanor and like think about where you're coming from and where you're going as you're doing whatever routine to get yourself in character.
Oh.
Yes.
Is it Colette's turn for the monologue? Oh, okay. Fuck. Okay, I need to make a note of that.
Colette's turn. I'm super excited.
But what about you, Fan? What are you looking forward to next episode?
Well, I'm looking forward to like fucking understand who the fuck is the organization that we're gonna go see in the like
the hotel.
In the motel. Like that for me, I'm like, ooh, what is going to happen? what is going to happen? What is going on? I am super, super fucking excited about that. And I want to see because now I'm fucking curious. I'm fucking dying of curiosity to see, is this related in any way with the fucking like fanatics? Because this looked like these were all kindred. Like, so what the fuck is happening?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this attack was different from the other one. They didn't have any weird weapons, but they were all kindred.
Are you talking about with Edward? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. Never mind. I won't say that. Continue.
I sometimes forget that we actually have a mission because we get caught up in drama so often.
That's the thing is like, and I'm trying to do that on purpose. I'm trying to do that on purpose because I don't want the main story revealed too quickly because then it would be boring for you guys.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So there's these things that are being thrown in that are purposely meant to distract you from your main goal. And the only reason those things are happening is because if I didn't create those situations, you guys probably would have already found Isaiah. You probably, like, that would have been done, and it's been a week. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why these things keep happening that kind of, like, distract you from your main goal, and it's adding more time into this whole mission. But it would be boring.
Group, it's like throwing a nut to a squirrel.
Yeah, it's easy to knock you guys off course.
Oh, for sure. You know too much, Jenna.
I know you guys too well. Like, I'm gonna drop this nugget in here. Okay, well, there goes 3 days.
Like, mayhem, complete chaos. Complete fucking chaos.
Completely off course. But yeah. You guys have.
It's funny because like you guys are like all like, oh yeah, the fucking whatever, like the relationship, and I'm like, Nyx is focused on the fucking prize here. Like nobody's really giving two fucks. She's the only one that wants to get this deal done. Like what the fuck? Like literally, I was like, oh, that's so funny that I was the only one saying this because like in my whole world as playing as Nyx, that's literally consuming her.
Mm-hmm.
Your life is on the line, literally.
Yeah.
So that would make sense for her to be more focused on that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is more important than the petty bullshit you guys are focusing on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah. But my contact lenses came in.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Which ones? The ones that took their time,
the
or the new ones?
That like are specifically made, like they're better. So I got them in a website that just does that, like cosmetic, like stuff. They sent me like the boxes with the little things and everything, and all organized perfect.
Are they all different colors?
They are different. I have one that is like hazel gray. I don't know if you can even see it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. It's not focusing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not focusing.
I can see the blue. It's like, it looks blue.
It's gray. It's supposedly gray. Mm-hmm. And then I do have a deep blue one, and I think I'm gonna put this one because I haven't used blue. But these ones are.
Blue is actually really pretty with someone who has brown eyes. There's a YouTuber that I follow, and he uses blue contacts and green contacts sometimes. And
it's like green around, and then green in the inside, and like blue on the outside.
Ooh, that one's pretty.
It's one really pretty.
It usually makes the blue like way darker because your eyes are brown. Like his contacts are really pretty. It looks super unnatural because it doesn't look like his eyes should be that color, but it's pretty.
It's hazel.
Ooh, those
and
are
gray
cool.
again.
I like those. Those are pretty.
Same.
You should just come in with 2 different ones. How funny would that be? Colette's like, what the fuck's wrong with your eyes? I'm just trying some things out.
That is very similar to the other one, but it's more hazel and honey.
Yeah, it's a little lighter. Like brighter looking.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Like cat. Meow. Cat-like.
Very cool. I'm excited to see what else you said you have another wig, yeah?
And I'm gonna wear the purple one next time.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
Switching it up.
Oh, I can tell.
I actually do the gray ones because it probably will go better with the purple.
True. Lighter eyes. Sparta, did you answer what you're excited about? I don't think you did you?
No.
Unless I forgot.
No, he did.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Duh. You went first.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm excited about is I'm excited to see what gift Nyx has for Colette.
Oh, that's right. She's been making.
She's made something, and she told Colette that night, "I have something for you," but they haven't. Like the morning that they woke up, the next morning, all of that shit went down, and they didn't have a chance to exchange the gifts. Colette didn't get you shit, but you know. Not gonna be exchanging.
It's not that she wanted anything back. Like she got like an idea. I think it was Colette that said something about like whatever and being like, oh yeah, I totally would like.
Yeah, when they were talking about clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Colette was the only one.
Yeah, and then like Steve also was like, yeah, I'll take clothes. Like mine are falling.
Yeah.
Off of me.
I need new clothes.
Or whatever. I need new clothes.
And then Colette's like, you don't like fucking clothes? She said that to Alejandro.
She's been working 4 hard nights, like with her little
sewing machine.
Industrious sewing machine.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see what Nyx has come up with.
Oh god.
And I'm interested to see if it's going to actually be like Colette's style or if it's just going to be what Nyx wanted to make because she liked it. That's what I'm interested in, because I'm sure you can imagine that there has probably been times with Ashley where it's like that mom and daughter, like mom trying to get their daughter to try on clothes and
the daughter is like, Mom, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, no, Mom. That is definitely not my style, Mom.
That is totally not me. And I can imagine Ashley and Colette have had those moments where Ashley's trying to like dress her up and Colette's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm not gonna wear that. Which is funny because there was actually a moment in LA by Night where they go to this party that's like this really fancy party, and Annabelle, who is a bruja, like she wears like a leather jacket. She's got half of her head shaved, like a lot of the same vibes of like Colette. And they're like, you need to change. And she's like, the fuck kind of clothes do you think I have? Like, I don't have shit like that. Like, I don't wear that kind of shit. And then like they weren't gonna let her into the party. They're like, you're being disrespectful. And then Nellie was like, I have clothes you can wear. And then she like came in this like, she looked fucking hot. I was like, okay, Annabelle. She came in this like red suede jacket with like no shirt underneath, looking all risque. And I was like, okay, you clean up nice, Miss Bruja.
Like, okay, you got some like tricks up your sleeve. I see you.
But yeah, I can totally envision a moment like that between Ashley and Colette. Like going to some fancy party with Ashley and Colette like shows up in her regular jeans and leather jacket and she's like, oh no, sweetheart.
It's like, oh hell no.
You are not walking in on my arm looking like that.
No. Come over here.
Follow me.
We're gonna solve this problem right now.
Oh god. And those are all things we can explore in our one shot with Ashley. which I think would be super fun. A young Colette, a young crazed Bruja Colette. We can tap into Colette's background when she first moved to New Orleans, and how did her relationship start with Ashley? Oh, cool. So many things we could unpack in those little one-shots that we won't necessarily have time to focus on in our main campaign.
I'm excited for those.
But yeah, that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what kind of present Colette has waiting for her. I'm
gonna have to find some pictures.
Hell yeah.
I have an idea.
Colette's gonna look fabulous.
Colette's just like, depending on what it is, I can imagine her being like, yeah, I'm not gonna wear that. Or it's like something.
It's gonna be a pink tutu.
It's just gonna be this like I can't imagine Colette in a dress. I feel like she wouldn't wear a dress.
I can't imagine.
If she was gonna dress up, she would just be in like a power suit. She'd just look like Lindsay. She'd wear something like Lindsay.
Yeah.
Just like a... Oh, speaking of Lindsay, I found this picture I wanted to share with you guys of... I'm like, this is what Lindsay looks like in my head. Because I don't think we've talked about her. I didn't ask you guys what you think she looks like.
But I want to see. Lindsay is actually like the one that I can't really pinpoint. For some reason, I imagine her as Marjorie in Game of Thrones.
Marjorie? I don't know. Marjorie... Game of Thrones.
Marjorie Tyrell.
Oh, is that like the mom? Or is that a different one?
The mom? Which mom?
Hold on.
No, it's this girl.
Oh, it's this one. Okay. That's funny because I feel like this picture that I have is like their faces do look a little bit alike. Wait, is this the right one? Marjorie Tyrell. She's the daughter. Okay. I was thinking of this lady.
Cersei?
I don't remember all of their names, to be honest. I wanted to like Game of Thrones, but for whatever reason, I just didn't. Yeah, Cersei. That's what I was thinking of. But this is a picture that I found of Lindsay. Let me see if I can do it this way, if it works. No, it doesn't. Okay, hold on. I need to figure out how to save this picture. Okay, I think I'm just going to take a screenshot because I don't know how to save it. Hold on, guys. My screen's going to look funny for a second.
I'm going to post a picture. She reminds me of Meryl Streep in this movie.
Okay, let's see it.
That's what I kind of had an idea of what she looked like.
Devil Wears Prada. Okay. Very powerful. So this is like literally basically to a T what I envision Lindsay as in my head.
Yeah, no, literally like it's the Natalie Dormer for me, yeah. Who is the actress of Marjorie Tyrell.
Even like this chick's hair is like literally how not necessarily the way it's styled at the moment, but what it looks like is how I explained to you guys. Like she has like dirty blonde hair, it was darker in the roots, it's like slicked back. She's wearing a gray pinstripe suit. I was like, holy shit, I found like Lindsay. This is actually like Lindsay.
Because Natalie Dormer is actually blonde.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She looks
very like cat-like, kind of like cat-like, very very cutting with her eyes. Yeah, very sharp.
Right, like intense look on her face. But yeah, that's Lindsay in my head, and she has piercing blue eyes. feel like all of my characters are very attractive.
Weirdly enough, vampires do tend to be
pretty attractive. True. I guess that is true.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call Gnosis attractive, but...
Well, apart from Nos.
True.
They're the exception.
They're attractive in their own way.
They're charming in their own way.
Yeah.
Also, I'm fucking curious about the fucking weird ass, like, half human who knows what the fuck it's in the other cell. Apart from Caleb.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, like, even thought about anything. I'm like, God damn it, I wish I was, like, in prison because I would have a
I wish I was in prison. Hey, can I go there for the day? You know?
Go there just to visit and see what it's like, and then I'll just go out.
I was curious, but it didn't feel right to try to explore that at the time.
But I'm like, I would totally, like, bored out of her mind with no conversations to be had. Like, Nyx would literally be, like, asking the walls.
She'd be, like, talking to the guard.
Like, she would be trying to talk to the guards. Like, hey, I'm bored. Come here. Come talk to me.
It's funny because I said that the guards weren't talking, but I didn't say that they wouldn't talk if you tried to talk to them.
Yeah.
True.
They're probably fucking bored out of their mind, too.
Yeah, so
imagine if that was, like, your fucking job all
Nyx
day.
would be, like, the person being like, yo, guards, can you, like, bring me a few cigarettes? And, like, sitting, like, by the bars and, like, having, like, a powwow and maybe, like, playing some cards with the guards. No, Steven. You don't understand here. You don't understand. This is not how you play this. Okay, let me review the rules, okay? So, Gin Rummy, this is how you play it, okay? Not like that, like this. Okay, let's try again, okay?
Oh, God.
The guards are like, get these guys out of my prison right now.
Lindsay comes and are like, can we let this chick go? She's kind of annoying. Can you, like, release her or kill her or something? She talks a lot.
Is there, like, an ankle bracelet you can send her home?
And just do home arrest instead of here, because honestly, I can't deal with her anymore. I can't do another round of gin rummy. I'm gonna die.
Listen, I hate solitaire, and she's wanted to play it 3 times today. Who likes solitaire that much?
She just wants me to watch because solitaire is that one person game.
There's actually is double solitaire. Have you ever played double solitaire?
No.
It's pretty fun, to be honest with you. I used to play with my sister when I was a kid.
No.
It's complicated, but it is there is double solitaire. But yeah, that's funny.
Play Uno with the guards.
There was
oh my God, yeah. Bring some Uno cards, please. Let's play Uno.
All you hear, like, Lindsay's making her way to the little fucking cells, and all you hear is Nyx yell, Uno! You're like, what the fuck is going on in there? Yeah, it was interesting that Sparta didn't mention anything, and, like, even to, like, Lev and be like, what the fuck is that thing over there? Like, but like you said, I mean, if you didn't feel if you didn't feel like
he did make a
right.
comment. He looked at Lev and he said, that's pretty fucking creepy. And Lev just said, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he said you don't want to know the things they do down here.
That's right.
Lev probably knew a little bit. The thing is like, you may have been able to get some more information if that conversation would have continued, because who's to say Lev hasn't been down there with Lindsay before when Lindsay was doing things?
True.
Lev is like basically Lindsay's right-hand man. Like, so that's probably why he was looking so fucking worried. Because he's like, I know what my boss comes down here to do. I don't want to fucking be here. I'm on the wrong side of the fence. Like, I don't mind being out there, like, in the hallway, but I'm in the fucking cell.
Yep.
So, I mean, if that conversation would have continued, it potentially could have opened up a conversation with Lev, you know, sharing a little bit more of his experiences with what him and Lindsay do, or well, what he watches Lindsay do. He probably doesn't do anything himself, but so who knows? He might have even known who that was.
True.
And how long they've been down there. You never know. But yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe if somebody else gets locked up, they'll discover the mystery of the groaning person in cell number 2. That's what their name's gonna be. If our show had credits, that's what groaning person in cell number 2, played by Jenna.
Sparta's Yelp review for prison, 10 out of 10. Would do it again.
Oh goodness. That's funny. Well, I am looking forward to next episode. I'm sure it will be action-packed, just like all of the rest have. Just action in different type of way. This episode, we actually did have some action, though.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I feel like all of our episodes have been pretty full of action, but it's not
In general,
physical.
yeah.
It's not always physical action, but there is always something going on with this group. And there are more and more mysteries unfolding as the days go on. Bless you.
Bless you.
So, tune in on Saturday where... Oops, that's not the right thing. That's for your... That's the command, I think, for your channel. RP. Tune in on Saturday at 6 p.m. I need to put that in my thing. And you can see what happens next. And will the coterie find any answers to what's going on? Or will only more questions arise?
I am seeing more questions in our future. And do not worry, Nyx will have all of them.
You can count on her.
Everybody. And be hella annoying.
Wouldn't be the same without her.
She hasn't had a chance to ask any questions. Everything just got too crazy.
True. Very true. Well, thank you guys for joining us as always. We will be back on Saturday. Come and enjoy the fun, and we'll see you guys then. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Adios.